Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Open Mic Podcast. The Open Mic Podcast is no longer unofficially sponsored by Liquid Death. I guess we took too long of a break. Open Mic Podcast has been gone, not gone, but we want a short break. Haven't podcasted, haven't recorded any podcast in probably the last 2 months. And as y'all guys know, everybody knows the last 2 months, November, December, holidays, a lot of things going on with the family. Work's been crazy and just living life, man. And you know that what comes with that is, um, a lot of time, and you got to prioritize, things in life and what's the most important to you. And what's most important to me is family and spending time with family. And just been busy. And life happens. You only get one life, and when that life's gone, you don't get a redo. Um, for the most part, depends on your beliefs. I guess you can be reincarnated as whatever, get a second chance, and you come back as a cow or whatever, but whatever people believe in. Here at Open Mic, we welcome all denominations when it comes to religion and your beliefs. We do not judge for what people choose to believe in. If I don't lock this chair in, I'm going to be sitting there trying to rock like an old man. But yeah, Open Mic Podcast is good to be back. My voice sounds a little weird. I've been sick. Feels like for a damn month now. But I guess flu and all that stuff, COVID, everything's going around. I think they said flu cases where I live, what the highest they've been in like 20 years. So kind of dealing with that. But I feel all right. It's just my voice sounds a little off. So um, sounds a little deeper. Can't get enough of your love, baby. Gonna sing some smooth R&B, some smooth jazz with this deep voice. Um, but yeah, man, I've been gone. A lot of people have been asking when you going to podcast, man. I haven't seen any new podcast, and so I said, now's the time. Time is now. Um, let's get back on this podcast thing, and let's, I hope everybody had hope everybody enjoyed the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. Hope everybody was safe throughout the new year. Everybody celebrated and was smart. It's a time of year when people like to party and like to get intoxicated and get behind the wheel and drive. Hopefully, nobody did that. In this day and age with Uber and so many options out there for people to get transportation, I would hope nobody would do that. So yeah, man, I hope everybody had a great Christmas, great New Year's, great holiday season all together. And man, we're back. You know what I'm saying? Open Mic Podcast is back. We're back, and I've been hitting the gym pretty steady. And the other night I went to the gym and it was late, later than it normally is. I just get in there when I can, when I'm spending time with my family. I spend time with my family, and so the I have to adjust my gym schedule based off of like my family needs, and that's fine, right? We make sacrifices, but we have to prioritize. And the gym, anybody knows me, like the gym's been a big part. Like exercise, working out's been a big part of my life for a long time, for 30 years. And I felt like the last few years that's taken kind of a back seat. And I didn't like that, man. I didn't like how it made me feel. When I go to the gym and I exercise and I work out, I feel good about myself. And I'm sure a lot of people probably feel the same way. So, it helps with the insecurities if you have any. It just helps you feel good, right? You go to the gym, you get a workout in, and you feel good about yourself. And so I had gotten away from that. And I think I'd lost a little bit of who I really was, and just had to kind of get grounded again. And um, so yeah, I get in. Sometimes it's in the morning, sometimes it's late at night. And the other night, everything was like 9 o'clock, and the gym was dead. I know this time of year. I'm gonna talk about this for a minute. It's January 15th. This time of year, and like I said, a guy that's been in the gym for a lot over the last 30 years. Every new year, you get the new year, new me, and the resolutioners, and You get an influx of people that are going to join the gym and just like overrun it, right? They're going to take over. And you tend to get a lot of people that probably don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're a little intimidated, but they're in there trying, right? And I've been victim of this. I used to make jokes and crack jokes and post memes and share stuff, and I think it's fine to have a sense of humor about those things. But there's some people in the gym that genuinely hate people that join after the 1st of January. They hate the New Year's resolutioners. They hate the New Year's group that comes in. And I don't know, man. I don't see why everybody started somewhere, right? Like nobody came into anything you do in life, whether it's work or sports or whatever, and started like right here. Everybody came in down here and they had to work their way up, right? So people that are genuinely trying to make a lifestyle change and trying to change their life, we should encourage that and not do anything to to discourage them. And but a lot of jokes go around, especially now on social media. You see it a lot. And I was one of those people too at one point. And I mean, I haven't been consistent in the gym, but I have been lately. People might look at me like this younger generations in the gym now. They might look at me and be like, "This guy's a New Year's resolutioner." You know what I'm saying? Like I'm new. I would hope they would see me working out. Well, they're minding their business, but everybody in the gym always observes everybody else working out, right? Like we see it, especially if people are doing something impressive or whatever. So I think most people could look at me and watch me work out and be like, yeah, he's not new. Or he might be new here, but he came from somewhere else. But that's not the case. The gym I go to, I've been a member of since day one. I built that house. That's my house. I don't give a damn what anybody says. That's my house. That's my gym. But yeah, I've been getting in there late. I wanted to start documenting my workouts and just kind of filming it and just playing around with that and playing around with the edits. So I've been kind of doing that lately, posting on social media. So people that are tuning in, people that are watching, if that's something you're interested in, let me know. I'm always open to, new ideas about new content and things like that. Yeah, I'm a man of the people. I'm not the people's champ, but I'm here for the people. I represent the people. So if there's something you guys want me to talk about, want me to discuss, feel free to email Open My Podcast 76 at outlook.com. Mailbag has not been busy. I probably won't have any emails to read today, but hopefully after today, we can get back on a consistent schedule and, kind of get the emails rolling. And, but yeah, man, just life, just living life and trying to, every day I wake up, try to be better than I was yesterday and try to be a good example. And just try to, I'm just living life, man. Life, there's no, with life, man, there's no playbook. There's no instruction manual. Like we just kind of, you know, wing it, so to speak. People always, I know people are trying to prepare for everything in life, and you just simply can't be prepared for everything that's going to happen in life. Like a lot of people plan to have children, and like we want to be prepared, but you really can't prepare to have kids, like because you really don't know how things are going to look after you have children, and you don't know the personality your children is going to have. You don't know, um, if they're going to have any ailments or something like that. I mean, you don't know. You kind of like every day is a new adventure. When you have children, every day is like a new adventure, right? It really is. And man, becoming a dad is the greatest thing I've ever done in my life. Like the greatest accomplishment I've ever done was become a father. And I'm grateful for that every day that I was allowed to be a dad, and I don't take that for granted. And I'm a proud father, and it's the greatest feeling. So many like you watch your child grow up and you see so many accomplishments from the first steps to the first words, and when they first start going to the bathroom on their own, and just there's just so many little like milestones along the way as you watch them grow up. And it's really, I know children aren't for everybody. I know a lot of people don't want to be parents, and that's fine. I just don't think those people will ever experience, and I could be speaking from just my experiences, but um, I don't think people that don't have children, I guess pets are kind of similar, but not like I'm not comparing a pet to a child or a human, right? But what I'm saying is unconditional love. Our children love us unconditionally. And there's just a love, a feeling that you get when you hold your child or when your child calls your name or when they hug you and when they do all those things. It's just a feeling that you're not going to get from any other source. You're not going to get that feeling from anything else in life. So I hate to tell people that don't have children like you're missing out. And there's people that can have kids and understand, but people that choose to not have children, whether they, um, maybe they didn't find the right person or, just life just happens and it just wasn't in the cards for them. Um, I feel bad because I feel like you're missing out on a love that you will not get from any other source or anywhere else. So, so people that choose to not have children, man, more power to you. I had a child later in life, and it was the best feeling, the greatest thing. And I think most people that have kids would agree with that. It's the hardest, but yet most rewarding thing you could possibly do in life. So, but yeah, you know, I feel like this day and age, when COVID hit, like I feel like Uber Eats and Grubhub and all these like food delivery, like fast food delivery type businesses really boomed, right? Because when COVID happened, everybody was told to stay home and don't go to stores, and all these places were closing early anyway, and so a lot of people were getting everything delivered. And one of those things that came from that was like grocery delivery, like was super popular then, and it still is. So Spark, which is mainly Walmart grocery delivery, I signed up to be a Spark delivery driver to, in my free time, deliver groceries and make a little bit of extra cash on the side. And it's been an experience, but for people out there that, can't find a job or they don't have any skills and they're just having a hard time, man. Like that's one outlet that I feel like anybody can do. If you have a smartphone and you have a transportation and just a little bit of common sense, you can do Spark Walmart grocery delivery. And it's not just groceries, like people that order things from Walmart online, it gets sent to the store and then it gets assigned like to someone to do a delivery. So yeah, I've been doing that for a few months, and like a lot of my friends all get Walmart delivery, and they all tell me, "I can't believe you haven't had an order come through with my name on it." And there's been a few houses and people I've delivered to were people that I knew, but for the most part, it's like, no, it's not people that I know. But it's the same. Like I've gone to the same houses like multiple times. So where I live, it's a town, but then it's kind of like a lot of rural, like a lot of country. So you end up delivering, outside of town, and it's interesting to say the least, man. Like some of the things that people buy, and you just kind of wonder, like, what in the world are they doing? Um, like one night I did a delivery. It was like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, and they'd ordered like a pile of like just basically junk food, and I'm like, man, these people are probably stoned. They're probably sitting around playing video games, something. But more power to them, whatever. And then like people will get like just a case of water delivered, and they live like a couple miles down the road. And I don't judge. Like a lot of people I notice are older, and they don't have transportation. Maybe they don't have family that can bring them things. Some people are disabled or have like a disability where they can't drive and pick up anything. And maybe the same situation, like they might not have family, might not have nobody help them out. So I've heard a lot of people say like, man, they're just people are just lazy. They don't want to go pick up their own groceries, like blah blah blah. Um, I don't think that's the case. I mean, it may be, but that's probably a small percentage. I think people it's just convenience, right? Like especially people that have families, have kids, that work. it's like, man, I don't want to take the time to go to the grocery store. Like I put in grocery orders at Walmart, and I use Target too, but I will go pick my own stuff up, right? I just won't go into the store and do the shopping most of the time. And that there's no cost with that. But for those of you out there, and I'm sure a lot of people that listen to this podcast have probably used a delivery service for food, fast food, or groceries, or whatever, or anything really. And like if you know, like say you put a grocery order in, and it's nighttime, or especially right now, right? Because it's the winter time, it gets dark at 5 o'clock, whatever. I wish people like there's a certain things that I wish like from someone who delivers. I want the consumer to be like, these are some tips I'm gonna give you guys. Tip number one is if you put in a grocery order and it's dark, turn a porch light on. If you got lights outside, turn them on. Because I don't know how many times I've gone to houses to deliver groceries, and you get like you have the app, it tells you when the driver's on the way. Like you check in when you arrive, it tells you when they're there. Turn a light on. Like there's so many houses I've gone to that have been like kind of outside of town, and it is pitch black dark, and you just don't know what the hell you're going to see, what you're stepping on. So anybody getting if you know you put in a grocery order and it's coming, check the app, get the update. Sorry, get the hiccups off something. Get the update, and just turn the porch light on, turn the outside light on. Um, tip number two, if you got dogs, like I've gone to houses that have had dogs outside and they're barking, but they're wagging their tails, which doesn't mean anything. But they're barking. I mean, they're doing what they're supposed to, right? Put the dogs up. Like I got out of the car one night, and I mean, this dog, like that dog's got teeth. They'll bite. Like I don't trust any animals got teeth. And the guy was like, "Oh, it's not going to bite." And I was like, "I mean, you say that. I don't know that, right? Like I'm a stranger. This dog doesn't know me. This dog doesn't know why I'm here. Like, are you for sure know that that dog's not going to bite me? I don't know that. So if you know you got an order coming, you got a grocery delivery coming, if you got something coming, just put the dog up. Or if I arrive on the property and you're outside and I clearly tell you, hey, I'm not comfortable, like this dog is making me uncomfortable, then get the dog. Right? Like I'm doing a service for you. Um, make it a little bit easier on me, make me a little bit more comfortable. And protect yourself because if that dog bites, like I can tell you right now, if you own a dog and someone, mailman, UPS, FedEx, whatever, if they come to deliver and that dog bites them, you are going to be held liable, and those people can sue. And I've been victim to that. I've been on that end, and I'm telling you, having your pet taken away and euthanized because of that, it's not something nobody wants. I wouldn't want that, and I don't think anybody getting a grocery delivery would want that. So, tip number three: if we've gotten snow and ice, like you may not care if you slip and fall on your sidewalk or whatever and break your back, break your leg, my neck, my back, my neck and my back. But I do, right? So if I show up to do a delivery and you haven't cleared like your walking path or whatever, if I can't put the groceries at the front door, because I always try to put them at the front door, like a lot of people put instructions in there, like, hey, leave it in the garage or put it on the fourth shelf tub bin hanging on my porch. People get kind of carried away with this stuff, but yeah, man, if you haven't cleared your a walking path or like your walkway and it's slick and it's icy, I'm not bringing it. I'm gonna set it where it's convenient, where I'm not gonna get hurt, and it kind of is what it is. So just remember that, man. If we got snow and ice and you didn't want to go out and do your grocery pickup or you didn't want to go do it because it was snowy and icy and it's cold as hell outside, make it a little bit easier on the delivery guy or delivery girl, the delivery person. Clear the sidewalk, man. Clear it off, clear path. Instructions, right? Like a lot of rural areas, the driveways, they kind of houses will share a driveway and they'll just be very vague, like, or they'll be like, hey, it's the third house on the right with the green door or whatever, right? Well, again, if I'm delivering it past dark, it's kind of hard to see that. I know people probably don't pay any attention to this, right? And they probably don't, but your mailboxes need to clearly be marked with your address. I don't know how many times I've gone to houses out in a country setting. It's dark as hell, and you can't see the address on the mailbox because it's probably been there for 20 years and the numbers have faded and wore off. And then they don't have numbers on the house. So it's like, I think people take that stuff for granted, right? But that's something you should be keeping up with. Make sure the numbers on your mailbox are clearly visible, or you have the numbers, your house number on your house. So I know exactly where that is. People that live in apartments, went to an apartment the other day. They had a wreath hanging on the door. Still, it's January. And I couldn't see the apartment number on the door. So I'm going down the first floor, usually when you live in an apartment, if it's like a 100 number, it's the first floor, 200 second floor, so forth, so on. But this apartment complex, man, the numbers were so weird. So I looked, I didn't see it. I couldn't see it because they had a wreath over the damn door, so I couldn't see the number. So I ended up having to call them, and they were like, "Yeah, it's at the top of the step, the wreath with the gingerbread man on it." It's like, okay, and you can give like I can give feedback whenever I do a delivery. It's asks you like thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. And sometimes I will share feedback with people. But yeah, I mean, those are some tips. Can't really think of much else. If you do want your groceries somewhere other than the front door, make sure you put that in the notes and explain. Like if you have a gate that's locked, like I've gone to houses that have long driveways and they have a gate at the end of the driveway and it's locked, but they didn't have any instructions. I mean, what do you want me to do with that package? Like some of those places have like a little shed. They'll have like a little shed or a little bin or something for you to put stuff in. But if I don't know, I mean, you don't have it in the instructions. How am I supposed to know? So if you live in an area like that, if you have something like that, like there's some special nuance with your residence or where you live, make sure you put that in the notes. Also, a lot of these orders, like some of them are pickup or some of them are actually shopping orders. So I tell everybody who puts in Walmart shop like delivery, if you put a Walmart grocery order in, always select substitutions. Always. Because there's plenty of times I've gone, there's no substitution picked by the person who put the order in. And then you kind of have to figure out if you can find something that's a good substitution or you might not. And I would rather them tell me what's acceptable than me guessing and then they get an order and just not being happy with it, right? So always put substitutions in, man. It really makes it easier for the person pulling your order and they can pull it. They can be, damn, I shook the hell out of the camera. They can be more consistent and can be faster with pulling the order. That really helps a lot. Um, Sometimes when I do orders, like I said, there are items that people have ordered online and had delivered to the store. And those are the orders I like running the most because most of the time they'll kind of be bunched in like you might have like 15, 16 stops. But it's just one package or a box or something. You just drop like it's medication sometimes. And you're just stopping, dropping, and going, right? And they usually pay pretty good, but it's a lot of driving. But I don't mind. I mean, I like that the most. For anybody thinking about sparking, like it is, you can make decent. You just have to remember you're an independent contractor, so they don't take out tax. You have to pay your own taxes on that. Um, but make sure if you do it, like a lot of times when you take an order for delivery, you might have to deliver like three different orders, like three different houses. So you want to have totes or some type of way to segregate everything in your car. Like I have these little handles I use to hook the bags onto that kind of makes it easier to carry things. Pay attention to the details. Apartments. I generally stay away from apartment orders because I don't like delivering because it's almost always like cases of water or cases of soda, and you gotta make 2 or 3 trips. You can call me lazy or whatever. It just takes time, and I just rather go and drop and go. Another thing, if you order, like if you know you got a broken foot and you're on crutches, right? I don't know the rule of thumb, but I have had people ask me like, "Hey, can you bring that in my house? Can you carry that in my house for me?" I don't know what the rule of thumb is there. I probably should know that. I don't remember reading anything about that on the Spark app or through Spark. Generally, I'm a pretty nice guy. If you say, hey, like I went to someone's house one day and the woman's like, hey, I got sciatica real bad. I just had an epidural shot today. I can't pick up that case of water. Do you mind setting it in my house? And I was like, yeah, I'll do that. But you can be a little uncomfortable walking into a stranger's house. And this goes through my mind because I think back like years ago, like the Craigslist killer and people meeting people off for like Facebook Marketplace. And like, so I would rather not come in your home and drop your groceries off. I would rather not do that. I've delivered to some houses where it looks like the people haven't been home for weeks and there's packages sitting everywhere on their porch. That's kind of weird to me. Never happened with groceries, but definitely with stuff they've ordered online. I've delivered to some homes that were definitely looked like they were not fit to be living in, like some creepy areas, like pitch black dark. How I mean, some Wrong Turn type shit. If y'all have ever seen the movie Wrong Turn, I mean that's kind of I ain't gonna lie, it creeps me out, man. So when I get to places like that, I'm dropping and I'm hauling ass like fast as I can. I'm getting the hell up out of there. Um, for the most part though, it's been a pretty positive experience. Like I have had some of the like the people at Walmart that pull the orders and get them together. Like I've have had them mix stuff up because everything works off a barcode, and I've gone to houses and dropped like wrong bags off, and then I'm like got to explain to them. They'll call me back like, "Hey, can you come out and get this?" Like, no, just call Walmart, and they'll if you got too much of something, they're just gonna tell you keep it. Whoever got the didn't get it, they'll just refund them the money. But if you do decide to spark or whatever, make sure you always check your orders when the Walmart employees are loading it. Because I notice what I've noticed doing this is some of those people that bring the groceries out to you for you to load, some of them care more than others. Some of them they're just there, like look like they hate life. But some of the kids are there, they're very talkative. You can joke around with them. You can tell who's basically probably not enjoying their life or probably in a bad spot and some of them aren't. So and then again some people might just look at it as like it's man, this job sucks, but I gotta do it. um so yeah, that's just kind of some tips to consumers out there, people getting grocery orders. And anybody thinking about doing it, I mean it's I think it's pretty cool. Like a lot of times when I do it, I just put music on and I'm just riding and listening to music and delivering and I'm always very nice, very respectable to the people if I'm interacting. Um, one downside though is if you do a lot of like rural areas where there's like literally no like cell signal, that can be a pain. Like I've gotten to the point now, I've done it long enough now to where I will see where certain houses addresses are. I look on a map and realize like that's going to be a nightmare. Like I literally had a 2 hour trip one time. I mean, it was like 19 stops and it took me like 4 hours to do that, and it ruined my day. I didn't even after that was done, I didn't go back and do anymore. Simply because I didn't have any signal. You got to call them, have them complete the order, but then your map's not loading, so you don't know where you're going. And if you're in an area you're not familiar with, you're just kind of out there lost. um yeah, it's kind of cool. So anybody out there that's like looking for supplemental income, or maybe you've lost your job and you're just looking for something to hold you over, I mean, it's definitely an idea. Just remember, you have to set some money back to pay your taxes because they don't take taxes out. So um, that's just my experience from doing Spark. So that's one of the things I've been doing in my time and in some of my free time, if I do have any. I'll do that. And then there's been times I've sparked in the evenings after work, and then I hit the gym afterwards, which would explain why I was in the gym the other night at 9 o'clock at night. There's a couple gyms here that are 24 hours. The one I go to is not. I wish they stayed on late. They closed at 10 like during the week. I wish it was like 11 because it was not busy, like super busy at 9 o'clock, but it was still plenty of people in there. I feel like 11 o'clock would make more sense, but I'm sure they got the reasons. I would like to think they do their due diligence and see what they got going on. So, but yeah, football playoffs are here. I've been watching that. Unfortunately for my team, things didn't go well this year. A lot of injuries, a lot of setbacks, and considering last year, the year they had, and then this year is just so. But we got NFL playoffs this weekend. We got the college football championship coming up on the 19th. I got Indiana. I think they're very well coached. They don't have a lot of superstar players, but they got players who play well together. So a lot of people are taking Miami, but I'm taking Indiana. They don't have a 5-star player on that team. They have some 4-star players, 3 stars. But a lot of the kids on that team are, 21, 22 years old. Like they've played football in college for the last 4 or 5 years. And I think that makes a difference. So I got Indiana winning college football championship. I know playoffs this weekend. We got Buffalo at Denver. Man, let's see. Let's do some picks. So yeah, NFL. This will be second round of the NFL playoffs. We got Buffalo, Denver on Saturday. Man, I felt like Josh Allen could not get over the hump of beating Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are not in the playoffs this year. And I just feel like they just don't have enough offense. Denver doesn't have a lot of offense either, but they have a great defense. I mean, I really like to see Josh Allen win a Super Bowl. Like I'm not a Bills fan, but I can appreciate everything he's done. I just don't see him getting it done. I don't see Buffalo going into Denver beating Denver. So I'm gonna take Denver on that one. And then the other Saturday night game is the Niners at the Rams. This will be a third division game between two teams who know each other very well. Niners beat Philly last weekend, kind of knocked them out. Cry Eagles cry, but yeah. The Niners been banged up this year, man. On defense, they're really banged up. They took care of business with Philly last week. I don't know that they get it done against LA again this week. But I love Kyle Shanahan. I think the Niners are very well coached. They did lose Kittle to a ruptured Achilles in the game last week. But the guys stepped up. They got Christian McCaffrey. Um, I don't think the Rams have been playing that good lately either. Um, man, that's a tough one, man. I want to go with the Rams, but I like Kyle Shanahan, man. I think he's a great coach, and I just think the Niners are such a blue collar. They remind me of like a blue collar team, like they're hard nosed. Guys bought buy in. Um, they do more with less. So I'm gonna go with the upset, man. I'm gonna take the I'm gonna take the Niners over the Rams this weekend. Um, and then the Sunday games we got is it New England and Houston? Houston at New England. That's the early game. Drake May's been kind of lighting it up this year. I think New England had they had a last place schedule, but New England's defense is pretty good. They're just really young on offense, and I just don't know if they're ready for that Houston defense. But if CJ Stroud don't show up to play, I don't think Houston's going to win this game. I think they're going to have to get some offense out of him, and Houston's going to have to put up some points. But I think the defense is that Houston defense is pretty tough. I don't know, man. I want to take Houston. I do. I really do. I think I'm gonna go with Houston on that one. And then the Sunday evening game is damn it, it's the Bears and what the hell? I can't think. Who's playing the Bears? No, you know what? The Niners play Seattle. Yeah, it's the Rams at the Bears. That's what it is. Yeah, I was wrong. I was like, wait a minute. I just thought of that. Yeah, it's the Niners playing Seattle. I think I got Seattle winning the whole thing, honestly. So I don't see the Niners beating Seattle. And that's gonna be a tough game for LA to go up to Chicago. It's gonna be cold as hell. I'm just not bought in on Caleb Williams and the Bears. Um, so I got the Rams going up here upsetting the Bears. Uh, so I got Denver. I got Houston. I got Seattle. And I got the Rams. So there's my picks for this week's NFL playoffs. Cut it. So this year, I guess this is supposed to be a big deal to most people. But this year, I'm going to level up. I mean, Lord willing, God willing, whatever you believe in, another trip around the sun. But this year, I will be 50. 50.
Flex.
Wrong one. Level up. 50. 50. The halfway, the century mark. You know, middle age ain't like, everybody think 50 is middle age. 50 is not really middle age. It's probably more like 40. 80. 45 maybe. That's me 90. Hell, some people are literally 70. I think 35. Man, think of what the average age was like back in the 1800s. Like people live to be like 35 years old. Just think about that. Man, they how wild that is. But yeah, I had this sound bite for like when I was talking about New Year's resolution, people in the gym, and man, there's a lot of people that video their workouts, and I was observing that this evening when I was in the gym. I was like, I was kind of looking around, and they put a posing room in this gym in the gym I go to, but it's terrible lighting in there, and they painted it black, which is even worse. But there's no lighting in there; it's terrible. But I see kids going in there posing, and I mean, I'm not like in any way, shape, or form discouraging any of these people, but you know, there was a couple in there working out earlier. They literally had the same outfit on, same shirt, same pants. And I'm thinking, wow. I mean, it was kind of funny, but then again, it was like, you know, hey man, they're doing it. You know what I mean? Like whatever gets them motivated to come in and dress alike. But I had this soundbite, so, but I didn't use it like a bumbling. This is what happens. You don't podcast for 2 months, man. I couldn't remember my passwords. I was sitting there like, man, I remember how to do this. Kind of like riding a bike. But yeah, man, this year the big 5-0. Um, I look back over the years and think of like goals I've wanted to do or accomplish by the time I was 50, and some of them I have, and some of them not gonna get done. But that's okay, you know. It happens. You know, luckily, hopefully, you know, I get another 40 years or so, and but yeah, I'm gonna level up to the 5-0 this year in June. I think that's a big deal. I think to most people it's a big deal. Now, to most people are going to say, "Well, every year I have a birthday is a big deal." It's like, yeah, true, of course, right, absolutely. But I think there's something special about the 5-0, the big 5-0. So again, no open mic mailbag this week. Like I said, I haven't been active, and there's not much going on in the mailbag. But everybody listen to the show. Shoot me some emails. Um, Open Mic Podcast 76 at outlook.com is the email address. You can find me on social, Instagram, TikTok. Podcasts are streamed on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and but yeah, man, it feels kind of good to be back. Like I said, my voice is being really weird, so um, it's getting my throat's dry. I didn't bring my damn water up here to drink anything, so um, yeah, it feels good to get back on the mic and kind of talk and um, you know, just hopefully we can stay consistent with this again. Like I said, man, life happens, everybody understands. A lot of people just ask, they're like, "Hey man, we get it. We're not giving you any grief over it. It'd just be nice to see you back on the screen and hear your voice again." So here I am. Here I am. Y'all see those little things? Y'all probably, I don't know if people know I got these little jewels on my teeth. I remember when the dentist put them on. Man, my dentist is the coolest dentist ever. I remember when he put them on. He didn't charge me for it. He's like, nobody lets me do any stuff. You're cool. You let me do it. So I let him do it, and he's like, man, they're like short term, right? He's ain't been on there like 2 years. I thought about next time I go to the dentist for a cleaning, have him take them off and redo them, which I'm sure he would. I'm sure he would. Sorry, I'm tired, man. My throat is getting, my voice is getting wore out. I feel like I didn't bring my water. I don't know why I didn't, but um, man, there's a cookie store that opened up. It's kind of like Crumble a little bit. If anybody knows what Crumble or Insomnia is, but it's a Star Wars like themed cookie store. It's called oh man, it's Smuggler something. And when I heard this and heard it was Star Wars, I'm like, okay, I gotta do this. We gotta go. So I that afternoon when I got off work, I picked my daughter up and I was like, yeah, let's go. So we drove all the way down there and the damn place was closed. And I messaged him on Instagram. I was like, yo, man, we drove like an hour to get down here and y'all were closed. And he was very nice. He's like, yeah, due to unforeseen circumstances, we closed. And he's like, we posted it on our social media. So I looked on social media. I didn't see any posts. He's like, we posted on our story. I said, well, that disappears, I think, after maybe 24 hours. So I just said, hey, look, man, as a next time something like that happens, I would make an actual post and post it on your social media and not just, you can share it to your story, but I would post it on your social media and then pin it. So it's like right at the top and just say, hey, something came up. We had to close early today. Sorry about that. And he's like, yeah, I hope you guys make another trip down. And we will. It's just, it's kind of a bummer. I was really hoping he'd give me something for free, though. Man, I don't know. Am I weird for saying that? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's Smugglers something. I can't remember. Smugglers something. But I'm planning on. We're gonna go back and maybe I'll do a little review while I'm there for the podcast and get it up there, and then everybody can kind of see where it is and give them a little shout out and go help them out. But they sell out a lot. I noticed. Now I don't know how much they're baked because they bake these fresh like every day, and then they sell out. So when it's gone. Then they close, which is what I thought happened that day, but it wasn't. But yeah, it's good to be back. Open mic is back. Let's do a little outro. Yeah, it's talking about AI. Like I noticed when you go in a lot of these grocery stores now, because I use AI to write these goofy outro songs. It's kind of weird, but I'm not that great. I'm not. If I could write music, I wouldn't be. Trust me, I wouldn't be doing. I'd be making music. So I use AI for that. And I think it's kind of interesting sometimes the stuff they come up, the AI comes up with. But like I had stopped at a McDonald's one day, and we maybe stopped to use the bathroom or whatever. My daughter asked she wanted some fries. I'm like, all right. So they have all these kiosks in there, and you put your order in, and I'm standing there waiting for him to bring the order out. And this older gentleman comes up. He's looking for somebody to take his order. And I said, hey man, like you got to order on the kiosk. And I think a lot of places are gone to that, right? Like they're going to that, like not having an employee actually take your order. You go to I know a lot of people hate that, man. Like you go to Walmart now and it's like all automated. Like there's very few like everything's self-serve. And people hate that. But you know what? I don't mind it. Because how many times have you gone and had to deal with someone that just act like they hated life, hated their job, they didn't want to do anything? Like you ask them, like you go to a drive-through and it's like you ask for some extra sauce, and they're just like, oh my God. Like you're taking something out of their pocket. Like, oh, I can only give you 2. That's all you're going to get. It's like, come on, man. So, yeah, let me deal with artificial intelligence and just say, you want 18 hot mustards? Here you go. Here is your hot mustard, sir. And drop it in the bag and roll on. But yeah, this guy was visibly irritated that someone in McDonald's wasn't taking his order. And I said, yo, man, I'll help you if you need help using the kiosk. And I think that offended and pissed him off even more. Man, he went storming out of there. Whatever, home slice. Anyway, outro. My voice all jacked up. This is not going to sound good. So, here we go. Nah, that ain't good. That's like, why is it holiday based? Hold on. Here we go. Oh, at least some water. Hot water. We talked it out. We told the truth. Share the laugh. Share the view. Life gets heavy. Days get long. You don't have to walk alone. That's the show. We're out of time. Keep your head up. You'll be fine. Same place, same mic next time. This is open mic. Hey, man. Everybody, keep your heads up. Just remember, tough times don't last. Tough people do. Peace.